The Miami International Autodrome. Ugh. The track that offers intense street racing action. Nope, it's in a car park. The track that offers glamorous views of the Florida coastline. Okay, less said about that the better. The track that offers blue. There's not a lot going for the Miami Grand Prix in Formula 1. There was so much potential for an exciting race in such a vibrant city, but after 3 runnings around this place, it's been a bit underwhelming. And that's down to this track. In theory, I would have said a custom-built track with almost no limitations, in the shape of a gator head no less, would lead to exciting racing. But it seems the designers of this place have fumbled. That's an American football reference because of the... Anyway, but the thing about the Miami Autodrome that doesn't really make sense to me is, why haven't they fixed it? It's not like this uses public roads that need to stay as they are. It's in the middle of a big open car park. They could just change the layout. Yeah, it costs a bit of cash to lay some new asphalt and you need to get it signed off again, but clearly the designers of this place spared no expense in bringing Formula 1 to Miami. Just look at the marina they built. It has almost 11 boats in it. That's so many boats. And so I thought we would take a look at this track and make some suggestions to actually improve the Miami Grand Prix, staying within the bounds of the stadium car park and being reasonable to avoid the stuff that can't be moved, like stadium, road, cable car station. Really? My name is Mr. V, the F1 green screen track design guy, and let's get into it. So before we start changing stuff, we need to know what we're changing and why. Time for a little tour, I think. The start-finish straights and the pits run along the north side of the stadium into turn 1, a slowish corner just over 90 degrees. Now, just like any good turn 1, you can overtake here. Sometimes, it's not that easy as the run down the pit straights isn't all that long. But if you do make an overtake here, it's likely to stick, because it's almost impossible to keep fighting after this corner. Good if you're a driver, not so good if you're a fan. The problem with the rest of the first sector, a series of fast left-rights, which you could call an S's if you were feeling very generous, is there's only one line through here. These corners are pretty fast and very aero-dependent, while not turning through enough of an angle to give alternative lines. And that's really the issue with Miami and other tracks on the current Formula 1 calendar that don't give much racing. There's no alternative lines. While these corners might be alright in qualifying, in the race you have to take this path, meaning if someone overtakes you down at turn 1, you have no choice but to tuck in behind them and start sucking up that dirty air, causing you to fall further behind. Clearly then, this whole first sector is our first area of improvement, where we need to make something where cars can actually go side by side and give us a show. This run of S's leads us down to the snout of the gator down at the marina. Way too many air quotes on this track. This corner is okay. It looks like it was trying to be a tricky, long, tightening left-hander, similar to the first corner of Shanghai, but it does fail to live up to the magic of that corner. It also has this weird little lump on exit as it needs to skirt around this cable car station. Miami, just one thing. Why is there a cable car station here? It's not exactly like there's any mountains to go up. You may be thinking the cable car travels the whole way around the park and gives fans an excellent view of the circuit and the stadium. But not really, because it starts here and it ends here, 500 meters away. Just walk. Anyway, I got a little sidetracked. Because of this cable car, we have this weird lump on the exit of turn 8, tightening the circuit at this point, and once again hindering alternative lines. So while we're down here, let's try and reprofile these corners to avoid this cable car, while at the same time maybe bunching cars together and increase our chances of a fight along this next section. We then travel along this bendy back section at the south side of the park, which I really like. It's interesting to watch and gives a nice little bit of challenge in qualifying, but the bends aren't too aggressive such that they separate cars. Nice. This leads into the hard left-hander of turn 11 before the long right-hander of turn 12, and once again, I quite like these. Unlike turn 1, a fight that starts with a dive bomb down at turn 11 can continue because turn 12 allows alternative lines and cars can go side by side. There's not been much praise for this track so far, but credit where credit's due. This bit is pretty good. Then they ruined it. Anyone who has watched the Miami Grand Prix before will remember this section, in much the same way that you remember a nightmare, or perhaps the death of a beloved family pet. This is awful. The track literally narrows on its way into turn 13 before we're served up a heinous, awkward chicane to line cars up for their trip under the intersection, through a grim narrow left-hander and finally onto the main straight of the circuit. This whole section is impossible to fight through, meaning cars are nice and spread apart before the main overtaking opportunity of the lap. Well done. I agree that this chicane might be an interesting technical challenge for a driver on a quali lap, but as a spectator for the race, this is a crime against my Sunday afternoon which cannot go unpunished. After that we get a long back straight along the canal, very standard hairpin which does get some overtakes but not as many as you might think, thank you underpass, a couple more generic corners and then we're back at the stadium to start another lap. Okay, so it's pretty clear that this, and this are our main areas of focus for this intervention. Not the easiest task in the world, as we do have some major infrastructure that we have to avoid, but I've got Photoshop loaded up, so let's get to it. And for those of you getting concerned, yes, I will make sure that the final result still looks like an alligator. Sort of. So, let's go through this thing in order, starting with turn 1. If we want to increase the chances of a move here, we can simply move turn 1 further up the straight. Pretty easy to do. But then we should change what comes after it so we have multiple corners where cars can continue a fight. To me, the smartest thing to do is just to have another 90-degree right, so that if you get dive bombed up turn 1, you can pull a little switchback and get up the inside of our new turn 2. So that's 2 corners where cars can fight. But can we get more? A simple choice to continue the track after this would be to link up with the original layout using this existing road here, but if we do that we run into the same issue as before, as we have a couple of follow-throughs which, ironically, you can't follow through. So instead, we should add another corner that turns through a large angle, and to increase the number of valid lines through here, why not make it banked? Yes, my suggestion for our new Miami Turn 3 is to plagiarize Zandvoort Turn 3. Sue me. Now, I can already hear some Miami residents screaming at me, so I need to address something. All of this section of the track is flat because it's temporary and sits on top of space that for the rest of the year is used as a car park. If you want to transform it back again, flat is good because you can simply paint more white lines once Formula 1 is gone and nobody would know the difference. But if we build a banking, those parking spaces are gone. Oh no, not a parking space! I've estimated that building up a banking here would likely cover up about 250 to 300 parking spaces. I know, a heinous crime. The stadium would have to run 3, maybe even 4 replacement buses to get that many people in on game days. 4 buses in America? Unthinkable. To any Dolphins or Hurricanes fans concerned that there won't be any parking left after we make this change, I hear you. I've run the numbers and the stadium will only be left with 26,400 spaces after this, basically none. It is going to be tough, but together we can make it through this. Anyway, after cars head through our new banking, they can link up with the original Turn 3 layout just like this. Lovely. The final result of these changes is that Turn 3, now Turn 4, in our new layout will have its character change quite significantly. Currently, it's a fast right-hander where you will almost never see 2 cars going side by side, but adding in this banking slows down the entry speed significantly, and we've tightened up its profile, meaning it's much more likely that cars can continue fighting after the banking and the whole way down the other side of the stadium. I really am spoiling you. We're now getting closer to the marina, but we're not quite done with Sector 1. We still have these 3 bends before the long left-hander, which don't really add anything to the lap. While being kind of mid as S's go, these also separate cars out with more dirty air. Let's get rid of them. I suggest we just carry on this path and create a more significant straight down into the marina. This gives us a change in entry angle and speed, and therefore an opportunity to try out a different corner profile down at fake boat heaven. I'm thinking more of a double apex left with some tricky braking through the first apex, similar to Spoon Corner at Suzuka. I saw a video recently that said that that was a pretty good corner, so could be fun. We can then round off this second apex a little bit sooner, slowing things down and bunching cars up for a naughty little slipstream down the back section, and also avoiding this cable car station without needing a weird little kink on exit. It's fine to be kinky, but you know, time and a place. This flat out back section and the 2 corners after it are already good, and as I always say, if it ain't broke, don't hypothetically fix it. And so that brings us to the underpass. This section is obviously a tricky one because the Formula 1 track needs to fit through these concrete pillars holding up the road. It's not great, but I can see why the designers have done this. And honestly, I'm struggling to see what else we could fit in here. I mean, we could always just ignore the whole thing. My favourite way to deal with problems in life is to avoid them at all costs. Really, the best way to put a Formula 1 track under this road is to not put a Formula 1 track under this road. Why don't we just go around it the other way? The track already crosses this road higher up, so we know it's feasible. Why not just go across here? I suggest we turn out of the beach section with a sharp left-hander, which once again should allow fights on the previous two corners to continue, do a little left-right follow through to get us lined up with the exit to this car park, and then cross the road. One key thing here is to make sure that these follow-throughs aren't too aggressive in their profiles, meaning we need them a bit shallower than the similar corners at Albert Park. Obviously, making them shallower makes them less interesting in qualifying, but the smoother they are, the less they separate cars going into this next hard right-hander. Better for the race. Okay, so we avoid the underpass entirely, and we ventured into all new territory over here. But before we continue and link this thing back up, we need to address one more elephant in the car park. We're gonna lose more parking. Only for the F1 weekend, not the whole year, it's not that much of a tragedy, but crossing the road here does cut off access for 2 whole car parks currently used for the F1 event. It's a great loss, I know. Lots 1 and 2 will be completely out of action for the Grand Prix weekend, meaning visitors to the event will only be left with Lot 3, Lot 4, East and West, Lot 8, Lot 11, Lot 12, Lot 17, East and West, Lot 18, Lot 20, Lot 21, Lot 22, Lot 30, Lot 31, Lot 32, Lot 33, Lot 34, Lot 35, Lot 37, Lot 40, Lot 41, Lot 42, Lot 44, Lot 45, Lot 46, Lot 60, Lot 62, Lot 70, or Lot 95. How will they cope? Anyway, now that we're in this new space, we can build whatever we want, but it's best not to go too crazy. It makes sense to get back to the original layout sooner rather than later, and as I look down, I see this nice little curve in this car park. Why not use that? It literally already connects onto the main straight, making it kind of perfect, and it means we get a nice little run through these trees in the middle of the lap. It gives us a bit of visual variety rather than just more blue. This nice long left-hander, which will need some runoff down here, making parking lot 8 smaller, cry about it, brings us nicely onto the main straight, which is obviously shorter than before, but still not short. This section is basically the current DRS section of this straight, and so if that's in the same place, we still have a pretty good chance of some overtakes down at the final slow corner. The last couple corners remain unchanged then, as cars head down past the stadium, over the line, and to our new Turn 1 to start the new, and if I may say so myself, improved Miami International Autodrome. Zooming out, we can see the overall layout is still pretty gatory. He is wearing a sort of shirt collar now, and I've given him a little tongue down at our new Turn 3. Blah, 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 blah. Don't know why I did that, but he's still unmistakably a big old alligator for Formula 1 fans to enjoy. And there we go! The name of the game here was to create some corner sequences where fights can continue for more than just one dive bomb, and I think we've done pretty well. This new layout is about 200 meters longer than the original one, and while we've made some sections faster, the overall lap is slower by about 4 or 5 seconds, making it more similar to COTA. As always, if you're watching this from the organising committee of the Miami Grand Prix and you would like to use some of these layout ideas, get in touch. I have very reasonable fees for my consultancy, starting at just 1 live baby alligator, a boat named after me at the fake marina, and of course, tens of millions of dollars. If you aren't part of the Miami Grand Prix committee, let me know what you think down below. Do you like what I've done with the place? And what would you have done differently? I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, why not subscribe for even more green screen based nonsense? I've been Mr. V, and as always, I will Mr. C you later.